There comes a moment when you realize how much of your life has been spent reaching for people who could never fully meet you where you are, and how often you left yourself behind trying to hold on to the connection. Hi, I'm Rena, spiritual alchemist and the host of the Awakening Soul Divinity podcast. This one is hard because it touches something really deep inside. It's that where you've loved, you've shown up, you've tried so hard, and it's not coming back to you the way you thought it would. And there is a part of you that just keeps reaching out. Like, maybe if I say this differently, maybe if I do this other thing for them, maybe if they finally see me, fill in the blank. I've lived that. Where you keep hoping that something will shift, and yet it doesn't. And what I had to come to terms with is that the ones we so desperately feel like we need to meet us are who they are. And maybe they can't. Their experience has created their response or lack of it. And that's a hard thing to really let land because there's grief in that. And also a realization that it has nothing to do with you. But nevertheless, the grief is there for what you wanted, what you thought could be different. I think this is the space where we turn it in on ourselves, blaming ourselves like, what am I doing wrong? Why can't I make this relationship work? And it doesn't just have to be in primary relationship. This happens with all relationships as long as you don't understand why it is going on. And what I've seen over and over again is that it's not about the other. It's about where we keep leaving ourselves while trying to be met somewhere else outside of us. And this is where it shifted for me, but it took years. I didn't have anyone to point these things out. I got to discover them for myself, and it was really hard. But little by little, as I walked through the pain, I kept coming back to myself. I stopped reaching and stayed with myself, and it hurt bad. It does. But even through the pain, there's something different about staying with yourself in it rather than trying to get someone else to meet you there. Because when you stay, you're no longer abandoning yourself in this process, which could have been going on for years. And that really changes the experience. Sure, there's still grief and there's still sadness, a lot of it. But something underneath begins to show up more steadily. Like, I'm here for you. But who is that? At first, I had no idea what was happening. I began to recognize that it was me showing up for me, something I actually felt that I didn't deserve for years. So no matter what they do or don't do, I'm still here for myself. And I have also found that not everyone is like that. I'm finding people now who do support and stick with me as I reach out and ask. And asking wasn't something I knew how to do for years. And also, I don't isolate anymore. And that's where things within me start to rebuild. And it didn't come from them. It came from me. It's always inside. It's always there. It waits until you begin to recognize that you deserve it and are worth it. When you begin to be grateful for yourself. I can tell you this, it takes work and it takes healing to get to that point. I will never say it is easy because it hasn't been. But step by step, I have gotten to the place where I can be grateful for myself and really love myself. Here I am. So if you're in that space where love isn't being returned the way you want, just take a moment and notice where you're still reaching. What is pushing you to reach outside of you? What is it that you're looking for? If you can't find the answers right now, that's okay. Just stay with yourself and allow the pain to release. Hold yourself, even in a self-hug, and gently come back to you, even if it's just a little bit. Because that's where the shift begins. And that is where you uncover the truth of who you are and come home to yourself. If this reflection resonated with something in you, you're probably beginning to recognize just how often we leave ourselves behind just trying to be loved, understood, or emotionally met by others. In the coming weeks, I'll be opening a new live space called Coming Home for people moving through these kinds of shifts and openings together. If you've been moving through something and looking for clarity or truth, this space is for you. Also, take a moment to subscribe, and if someone comes to mind, share this with them. If anxiety has been part of your experience, there's a free ebook in the description to support you. Welcome home.